As a champion of sustainable development, an international financial center, and a leading technology hub, Singapore is well placed to support Asia's journey towards sustainability. Why Asia? Because Asia accounts for about half of global greenhouse gas emissions. But Asia's transition to a low carbon future has to be consistent with its economic and social development. Asia is at a different starting point from Europe. Millions of peoples in Asia still do not have access to electricity. Fossil fuels are still the cheapest way to generate energy in many parts of Asia. Yet, in other parts, there is scope for energy-efficient technologies and renewable energy solutions. Asia's transition to sustainability will be progressive through deeper shades of green. Let me describe 3 ways in which Singapore aims to support Asia's transition towards greater sustainability. 1, Asian carbon credit market. 2, our Green Finance Action Plan. And 3, Green FinTech. Given Asia's continued dependence on fossil fuels, an Asian carbon credit market must be part of the strategy to achieve both development and sustainability in Asia. Carbon credits are increasingly seen as a complement to firms' decarbonization efforts. Global demand for voluntary carbon credits is expected to grow 10 times over the next 10 years, from 100 million tons of CO2 equivalent in 2019 to over 1 billion tons in 2030. But today, carbon credit markets are fragmented, liquidity is thin, and carbon prices vary across markets. We need global coordination to scale up the voluntary carbon credits markets. We need more high-quality carbon credits and more trading of such credits across borders to drive convergence towards a global price on carbon. We need to put in place infrastructure and data connectivity to ensure environmental integrity and avoid double counting of credits. A private sector-led coalition in Singapore has identified an opportunity to develop an Asian voluntary carbon credit market at large scale. The Sustainability Alliance for Action, set up under the Ministry of Trade and Industry's Emerging Stronger Task Force, has proposed developing a market ecosystem for voluntary carbon credits. Such an ecosystem can facilitate price discovery, improve liquidity, and verify the integrity of carbon credits. The Sustainability Alliance has proposed focusing on carbon credits generated through nature-based solutions. Nature-based solutions are measures taken to protect, sustainably manage, and restore ecosystems. Measures such as reforestation and restoring peatlands and mangroves to sequester carbon and improve biodiversity. Nature-based solutions are an attractive proposition. They can contribute significantly to climate change mitigation and adaptation. Studies show that they can potentially provide more than 30% of the carbon mitigation needed globally between now and 2030. Nature-based solutions also contribute to positive social outcomes, such as biodiversity, job creation, and improved public health. There is potential in Southeast Asia to generate a large volume of good quality carbon credits through nature-based solutions. According to a study by the National University of Singapore, Southeast Asia has about 120 million hectares of land suitable for reforestation. The Sustainability Alliance has also prototyped technology solutions to address problem statements in the voluntary carbon credit market. Some examples: testing the use of artificial intelligence to extract key data from lengthy project documents into more accessible and comparable formats. Market participants can then use this standardized information to assess the value of projects and price them better. Testing the use of remote sensing technology combined with satellites to more accurately verify carbon sequestration. This is important to ensure that credits issued from a project represent real and measurable reductions in emissions. Complementing the Sustainability Alliance, DBS Bank, Temasek, the National University of Singapore, and Conservation International have come together to research nature-based solutions. I'm pleased to share that they launched just this morning a joint report studying the commercial viability of nature-based solutions. Temasek and DBS Bank are leading a 6-month technology accelerator for startups interested to use technology to scale nature-based solutions. The National University of Singapore, the World Bank, and Google have come on board as partners to the accelerator. International cooperation remains key to growing the Asian carbon credits market. The Task Force for Scaling Voluntary Carbon Markets, sponsored by the Institute of International Finance, has launched a consultation paper outlining 17 very sensible recommendations. Singapore is keen to work with like-minded countries and businesses to test-bed the recommendations of the task force and to start laying the foundations for a viable carbon credits market in Asia.